The Institute for Quality Leadership presents First Aid for Leadership in Times of Disruption, a useful framework and practical tips to help you and your team members cope with the tremendous disruption to work and life caused by coronavirus. Given the current situation, many of us have come to know disruption all too well. Disruption can be caused by a variety of business or market factors, as well as major external events like terrorism or the global health crisis we're grappling with today, coronavirus disease. Disruption forces organizations to ask deep questions and re-examine fundamental assumptions about aspects of their business that previously may have seemed relatively clear and stable. Aspects like purpose, value creation, core business products or services, business models, marketing strategies, target markets, and clients. Disruption often leads to adaptation or profound change, and can also lead to innovation. In light of our current disruptive reality, we have identified 3 major leadership challenges for organizations: business, operational, and people challenges. Overcoming each of these involves a variety of actions and behaviors that leaders must do to help themselves, their teams, and the organization cope. While there must obviously be a strong business response to any kind of disruption, especially a continuously unfolding and escalating event like coronavirus, it also demands an effective leadership response. Let's connect the dots for a moment and think of the connection between the 3 key leadership challenges we have identified. Leaders enable people to operate business. Given the sequence, during times of disruption, leaders must start with their people. So what does people first mean in times of disruption? It means to first and foremost be aware of and manage the impact of disruption on your employees' personal and organizational continuums. What is a continuum? The concept of continuum refers to the basic need of humans to maintain consistency in life. This consistency allows them to predict their immediate future and act accordingly. There are 6 key continuums that relate to all of us: existential, cognitive, functional, emotional, social, and leadership. Understanding these continuums empowers leaders to play a powerful role in mitigating the impact of disruption and bolstering people's well-being. So how does disruption impact our continuums? It undermines them, creating fragility and turbulence in people's psychological state, mindset, or behaviors. However, the way each person experiences the continuums differs. For some people, the disruption will shake their cognitive continuum most, because in order for them to function effectively, they must know what is going on and try to gather as much information as possible. For example, they constantly check the news or talk to people instead of doing their work. For others, their emotional continuum will be hit hardest because their anxiety and fear overwhelm their ability to function effectively. Your role as a leader is to help restore those continuums when they break. Restoring the existential continuum is about addressing people's basic human needs and identity. Restoring the cognitive continuum is about meeting people's need to understand and have clarity. Restoring the functional continuum is about meeting people's need for regular routine and task accomplishment. Restoring the emotional continuum is about meeting people's need for stability and their need to feel safe. Restoring the social continuum is about meeting people's need for belonging and connecting with others. Restoring the leadership continuum is about meeting people's need for leadership presence, accessibility, and someone to rely on. It is important to remember that leaders are also human beings who seek consistently, so it is vital that you reflect on your continuums and fortify your own resilience first. Pay attention to the fact that there will be times when there is tension between what you need and what your team members need. As a leader, you need to manage those tensions as they arise between your emotions and needs and the emotions and needs of your team members. This can be challenging, but is much easier if you are aware of the concept of continuums and how they manifest in yourself and in others. Dealing with your people's needs coincides with addressing the operational challenges of managing remote workers. Given the increasing restrictions people and businesses are facing around the world, different leaders and organizations will be at different degrees of readiness in terms of managing a virtual or remote team. In the next section, we will provide a series of practices and tips to help you manage the situation today and going forward. As people's continuums are disrupted, we all need to adjust to this new reality, personally and professionally. There are essentially two stages for leaders to go through. 1, get their teams going with remote working, and 2, manage them remotely on an ongoing basis. The following practices and tips are designed to help you manage remotely while mitigating the disruption to the 6 continuums: existential, cognitive, functional, emotional, social, and leadership. The first step in getting going is to create order for yourself and get organized by identifying priorities, key tasks, routines, etc. We would like to reiterate the importance of self-reflection and making sure you're equipped with the information you need in order to support your team as they adjust to working remotely. The next step in getting going is ensuring everyone has the necessary infrastructure to work remotely. Especially given the current situation, it is important to be understanding to each employee's personal circumstances and ensure they have the technology and the tools they need to succeed. The third and final step in the getting going stage is to set the context and create new rules of engagement with your team. This is an important moment to address people's existential and emotional continuums, as well as to make sure the team continues to function effectively in terms of work processes, communication platforms, and frequent meetings. Once you're at the stage of managing a remote team on an ongoing basis, the key factor is to communicate, and communicate some more. Communication helps provide clarity, which helps people feel a sense of control over the situation. Communication within a team which is used to working together in the same place is also something we take for granted. Losing this, therefore, requires us to compensate and adjust. When managing remote teams, we naturally need to ensure that everyone continues to deliver and function effectively, individually and together. This requires a different approach to what you may have used when everyone was at the office. It is important to enhance collaboration, touch base frequently without micromanaging, keep everyone updated, promote direct communication among team members, document key decisions, and ensure everyone is clear on what they are doing. Maintaining trust-based relationship is key to any team, and remotely, it gets more challenging. It is about showing your team members that you trust them by empowering and giving them a sense of your presence as a leader. It is about helping them feel capable and supported during this time. A key part of this is checking how people are feeling, not just what tasks they are doing. A key element of managing remote teams on an ongoing basis is to give yourself due focus and to understand your impact on others. Balanced with the need to give team members direction and keep them working is the need, as vital as ever, to be authentic, humble, and present for your people. Before we go, we wanted to give you one final structure for kicking off your getting going stage. We suggest a meeting with your team aimed at setting the context and creating new rules of engagement. This is a critical opportunity to communicate the important messages you need to communicate as a leader to help manage your people's continuums. Here, we have provided a suggested agenda or meeting flow for you to use to ensure you pitch the meeting appropriately and achieve the outcomes you need. Note that preparing for the meeting involves taking time for yourself to reflect and to make sure you get the information you and your team members need. Thank you for your time. We wish you all good health and great success in coping with disruption.